Hello, Daniel. Daniel, I need to ask you a question, by the way. And I swear to you, I've not primed chat for this question. It just popped into my brain because I saw you tweet about it yesterday, or 2 days ago. And I think it's a good question. I know I'm building it up here. I think it's a good question because I know that you're a fan of the original. Are you... Let me rephrase. Let me stop priming you so much. Where do you fall on the spectrum of excitement for Wonka? Are you like, oh, I've always wanted to know more about how Willy Wonka got to his position of chocolate factory? Or are you like, don't mess with the original because it's perfect, all you could ever do is mess it up? Or are you like, wait and see? Gene Wilder equals unlimited Pogs. New Wonka equals Jonas Brother in Marvel movies. See? Daniel, we're on the same page. Because I also think that there's just simply no reason for this movie to exist. If you don't speak Danglish, that's basically what he was getting at there. I just, like... I'm going to see it because I'm nostalgia pilled? Okay, we're not on the same page. I will not see... I went as far yesterday as to say to chat, I won't see it even if it's good, because it's just the principle of the matter. My feeling about the character of Willy Wonka is not that he's like a sacred cow. It's not like, oh, you can't touch Willy Wonka, like he's too pure or anything like that. It's just that it's better for me. I don't want to know how he got to where he got to. He's just a more interesting character when he's shrouded in mystery and ambiguity, and you don't know, is he a child murderer or just a quirked up guy with a purple suit? I don't want him to have childhood trauma that leads him to find respite in making chocolate, and then, because then, like, I don't want to know when Willy Wonka takes them into the horror flume in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and Gene Wilder's going, there's no earthly way of knowing where I don't want to be like, oh, these kids are safe. He's just weird because he didn't have a strong father figure in his life. I want to watch that movie and be like, these kids are gonna fucking die, dude! And then they don't die, which is that it's that push and pull that makes the media more interesting. I mean, oh, kids, don't worry. Like, they're going to edit something into the old movie. They're going to, like, re-release it. Don't worry, kids. Willy Wonka's just a weird guy, but he's actually non-threatening. Meanwhile, an Oompa Loompa whispers in his ear. Oh, just so everybody knows, Augustus Gloop is totally fine. Actually, his parents just won the lottery. Yay! It's better when it's a little macabre, okay? I want him to be weird. And if he has reasons for his weirdness, that's worse. If anything, I would actually, and again, maybe not a super popular take, but if anything, I think it would almost be, for me and me alone, it would be better if the movie was remarkably ass. Because then it would be noteworthy and maybe hilarious. If it's just like a 66 on Rotten Tomatoes, that's like the worst. Actually, the worst possible outcome might be that it's like a 91 on Rotten Tomatoes. The best would be if it had like a 13 on Rotten Tomatoes. That would really tie the room together. If it gets a 90, they'll make a sequel to the prequel. It's kind of like another thing that I was going to talk about is like, where does it end? Wonka overperforms at the box office, then we get a fucking movie about Slugworth. That's like a Todd Phillips Joker-style movie. Then Slugworth is too evil, so we got to get a movie about Slugworth's childhood. He was actually like a good guy, but then Grandpa Wonka stole his... Slugworth and Wonka's grandpas used to be friends until Grandpa Wonka betrayed Grandpa Slugworth, and then Slugworth, whatever. And the Oompa Loompas are there by choice, Willy Wonka, he's like, no, you don't work for us. It's a co-op. The Wonka Chocolate Factory is a co-op. Everybody that works for me has equivalent shares of equity in the company, even though it's named after me. So I wish that it didn't exist, just on principle. For the most part, I am a guy that is like, I'll just wait and see like if a movie's good. Like, I'm not going to get mad that they're making like a new whatever. Because I'm like, maybe it'll be good. This is one of the only movies I've ever encountered where I'm for sure like, man, I wish this didn't exist. Not even because it like cheapens the source product, just because like I think it sets a bad standard in Hollywood of like every time you see a character on screen, the character can't just exist like as a character. The character always, oh, I wonder what his story is. Like everything is becoming the Star Wars prequels. You can't just have Darth Vader. You got to be like, oh, you hated Darth Vader? You hated Darth Vader. You thought he was like consummate evil personified, huh? Actually, he's just a scared little kid. He's just a scared little kid who got corrupted by his own emotions. Grow a pair. Thank you, Daniel. I did like when he says mommy at the end of the trailer. Sure, yeah, I liked it. I was hoping for a rant on the mommy thing. Well, the mommy thing kind of ties into the rant. So I'm sure that my prediction, and I could be wrong, but it doesn't matter because it doesn't matter. Even if I'm wrong, it doesn't matter. I'm not saying if I'm wrong that I'm right, like the Beatles. I'm simply saying if I'm wrong, it's only entertainment. But if I'm right, oh, baby. Okay, hang on. I got stuff to do here, okay? We're going off. My prediction is that Willy Wonka, as a child, never knew his father, okay? But his mom, even though Willy Wonka was quirked up to all get out, his mom was always supportive to him. So it's going to be a situation where Willy Wonka is only able to overcome the obstacles in his life because of the strong mom in his life. Now, that's a great story in real life, but at the same time, to me, it makes the character of Willy Wonka worse because I don't want to chart the paint by numbers of how this weirdo started owning a chocolate factory and doing like a reality show for kids to become the next CEO of Wonka Inc. I want him to be just a weird dude. Just let him be a weird dude. Like he came out of the womb a weird dude. Or even better, as we talked about yesterday, Willy Wonka didn't even come out of the womb. Willy Wonka just freaking showed up on Earth as a 44-year-old chocolate factory owner. Like the judge from Blood Meridian, okay? Is he an alien? Is he a god? Is he the devil? We don't know. All we know is he makes snozberries that taste like real snozberries, and he's a little psychotic. And that's the reality we live in, so you better reconcile it. That is exactly what I'm saying. I want him to be the Pennywise of chocolate. One of the only things that could actually bring me back is if somehow the movie embraces how insane Willy Wonka is and makes him like irredeemable in the first movie, so that in the second movie we're even more scared for the kids, even though the movie's already out. So if he like kills and eats an Oompa Loompa, and then that's like the fade to black moment, and then it's like, now go watch Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, I'd be like, oh. I'm sure they'll be best friends or something. The Oompa Loompa will be like, let me call over 200 of my friends and we'll make up the entire workforce of your chocolate factory. Yeah, don't worry about it. 4 of us will roll an enormous barrel of syrup on its side. Doesn't make any fucking sense. What kids' book character would you want a solo movie on? Well, I think Mattel is doing the right thing by making a movie for every single one of their characters. I can't wait to see the Stretch Armstrong movie, directed by Chloe Zhao and starring John Krasinski. I think that one's going to be really good. Here's the thing, though. Stretch Arms... Yes, coming to theaters this summer. Stretch. I can't reach it. Yeah, NL. It has one of the most realistic depictions of a panic attack ever. Yeah. And I know, and Stretch Armstrong fucks, okay? Well, unless you're going to see his dick, stop teasing me. They imply that he fucks. They don't show what he does with his appendage in the moment. They don't have any courage, okay? Give it to a French director. They'll do it right. Did you see Cillian Murphy is hanging full dong in Oppenheimer? See, Chris Nolan, I might not agree with him on everything, but he's one of the few directors remaining with some as courage at the very least. Like, did you know that he invented a time machine for Oppenheimer, or for Tenet? That joke would have been so much fucking better if I didn't get the name of the movie wrong. Oh. I fucking hate Tenet, man. We wouldn't be friends, okay? Tenet's the worst movie of the decade. It's just insanity. I'm not saying you watched it wrong. I'm just saying you haven't seen Medea's Witness Protection. I don't know if it's... I don't... Here's the thing. Trying to think of the right way to phrase this. I don't want to say that I like 8s out of 10 better than 10s out of 10. Because that's not true. Kind of. Live for me? Oh, you lived for me. Say you're gonna give for me a new motivation. She comes round and she goes down on me. Tenet's a 6.5? I kind of agree. But like, I kind of think that that's good. I think it's a great 6 out of 10. It's not like a 6 out of 10 like How to Train Your Dragon 3, where you're like, wow, what a likable movie that everyone can enjoy. It's like it's a 6.5 out of 10 that's like 1 in 10 people thinks that it's the coolest movie they've ever seen. $50-50? That's cute. Oh, exact change! I had a 10 out of 10 time watching Tenet. The movie brought me in. It asked me questions. Then it tried to provide me with answers. And I looked to the side. I said, not today, Christopher Nolan. Give Robert Pattinson a sword. Give him a gas mask and a sword and put him back on the screen. Make the car drive forward in reverse. Since you like sap, you ever try Hearthstone Battlegrounds? Listen, okay? Hearthstone Battlegrounds is to sap as Akira is to Tenet, which is to say, the former is probably better, but I'd rather spend my life in love with the latter. All I'm trying to say is that it being better makes it a little bit worse. Who chooses Tenet over Akira? Distinguished men of taste. Akira's really good, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's demonstrably better than Tenet, I'm sure. Can you explain the plot of Tenet? It's not that hard. John David Washington is going to take you back to the past to fix the shitty things that suck ass. I think that's the elevator pitch. Is he going to take a diarrhea dump? See, you've seen the movie. When you are a buffalo and you get the urge to take a diarrhea dump in the angry video game nerd's ear, but then you realize that what do they call it in Tenet again? When you're moving backwards in time instead of forwards in time? What do they call it? Inverted? Oh, when you're a buffalo taking a and you realize you've got to take a diarrhea dump in the angry video game nerd's ear, but then you realize you're inverted? Oh, Wonka S. Run it by me one more time. If you were the buffalo and you had a rumbly in your tumbly, you had to take a diarrhea dump in the angry video game nerd's ear, which is something that he says. That you would be like, oh, I'm going to diarrhea dump in this nerd's ear. But then you realize you're inverted, so things are moving backwards, which means your ass is about to suck up a big pool of diarrhea. So you'd be like Wonka S. I don't want all that diarrhea going inside of my butt. It's not that complicated. If I was inverted in Tenet, I think they could really easily make Tenet a comedy. Like imagining if instead of going like back in time to save the world, he just went back in time and like watched a dude's day happen in reverse. It'd be so funny to watch a dude walk backwards into the bathroom, sit down on the toilet and suck a bunch of shit up into his ass. And then like stand up and put his pants on and walk out. Oh, man. Oh. Without wiping, so true. Dude, Malf, are you here? That would be funny, dude. That would be so funny. Aren't you like 35? I guess I'm like 35. I'm 34. Well, you jealous? You're not as, you don't have as much humor as me? You're jealous you can't laugh at the little things anymore? You can only laugh when SpongeBob SquarePants says, Squidward. What is it? My libido's gone berserk. I don't wanna go to work. I don't want nothing to eat. Driving up and down the street, but only 2 weeks ago. 2, 3, you said you'd never leave me. 2, 3, 4, but here I am alone. 1, 2, then in this world of reckless happenstance, why do good things have to go away? 2, 3, and leave you with nothing. 2, 3, 4, and she left me with nothing. If you know the words, sing along. I got a strange disease. You ever listen to Prozac, man? That was a song, dude.